This is my presentation on Google Calendars. Let me share my screen here. And we will go here. All right, so I chose to compare Google Calendars versus Outlook calendars just because that's something I've used both of them. I used Outlook and Microsoft professionally when I worked for the state of Kansas. And then when I began teaching 2 years ago, I came into a district that only uses Google. So at that point, it was completely foreign to me. And what has happened just in the course of 2 school years is I've become a Google addict. I actually can't stand doing anything in Microsoft anymore. And now when I'm required to get in Microsoft, it's almost like foreign to me at this point because I'm just so used to operating on Google systems. So I kind of just did a compare and contrast of Google versus Outlook. So with Google, you can integrate with all of Google's services. It allows for very easy collaboration, which is part of why I really like it, and easy access to relevant information, especially within my share drive. It's simple and it's a clean design. I don't like being overwhelmed, especially in something that I use constantly throughout the day. So that's why I really enjoy Google. Outlook is kind of the same as far as it integrates with other Microsoft tools like Microsoft Teams, which of course is a version of a chat, and then the OneDrive, which is kind of like the share drive in Google. It is more complex due to extensive features that they have in Microsoft Suite, which is kind of just like the step up version of Microsoft. Google Calendar, it's simple in creating events. They offer smart suggestions, which I love. It's built for collaboration. I didn't even realize that was a thing until I became a teacher. And then integrates with Google Meet for video conferences. Outlook, it's deeply rooted in Outlook Mail. You're able to schedule meetings directly from email. And then has built-in support for differing time zones. Not so much an impact in the education world as far as elementary education and what I've experienced. However, 2 years ago, I did have a student whose father worked internationally. And so sometimes it was a bit of a chore to have to figure out our scheduling of conferences and meetings. Google uses AI algorithms to provide smart suggestions. I know that the opinion of AI is very controversial. I happen to be a fan of it. I'm in a unique position because my fiance is an IT pro manager. He taught IT for a very long time. And so he has kind of taught me along the way the benefits of AI. I know I have a lot of teacher friends who really turn away from it. It scares them. They're afraid of it being abused by their students. But I have found that if I use AI as a tool, work smarter, not harder, it can be really beneficial. And this is one of those ways. So it provides smart algorithms for event scheduling and reminders. So it almost does the work for me. There's a built-in task feature. You can just create and manage a to-do list. And then also it has the scheduling assistant. So you choose for meeting times based on availability. You can see the availability and kind of schedule your meetings that way. Outlook, you view multiple calendars side by side. So in Google, they overlay each other, but in Microsoft, you kind of just line them up. What I found to really dislike about that feature is that sometimes I had an ungodly amount of calendars just lined up and it got to be very overwhelming, which again is why I'm really drawn to Google because it's very simple designs and very clean. Also in Microsoft, you can create events, your created events must be deleted in order for you to remove yourself from it. So it's almost like getting rid of the history of that event. Whereas in Google, you can just remove yourself from it, even if you created them. So I have kind of just put some steps here to using Google Calendar. Once you are logged into Google, you're going to click on the interface for the calendar. And then under My Calendars, you can have several of them on the left-hand side. You're going to click the plus sign to add a new calendar and then select Create there. You can name that calendar, add a description if needed, set the time zone, and then you click Create. You can customize your notifications. There's that should say add others to the calendar, and then optimize a lot of settings under configure. What I like about Google is you can just click anywhere on the calendar on a date and time to add your events that way. So you don't have to be like, oh gosh, what day of the week was, the third on? You can just go straight there and click and right off the bat, okay, at 9 o'clock, I have this scheduled. And so I really like that aspect of it. Just some tips for optimal use that I have found: enable your notifications via emails or pop-ups. I love this because it interfaces over to, or it integrates onto my cell phone. And so I love having those pop-ups all the time, kind of remind me, oh shoot, I have this going on. Color code events, I have OCD, so I absolutely love this feature. And then just the integration, sync it up to Gmail or your Google Tasks, and that helps you really efficiently manage your calendar. So as a part of this assignment, I did want to trying to show here. Okay, get back to my calendar. Now this is my Fort Hays calendar. I never use this because I just use my personal login, but I did just want to kind of walk through and show that you would just either click here, create for the drop down where you can show that you're going to be out of office, where you're going to be working, a task, or what I really like about Google is I know that on the 3rd, at 3 o'clock, I have an appointment. So I'm just going to click there and put like a new teacher hire appointment. Since it's my personal email, I'm not going to have to put out of office, but I certainly could. And then it tells you, you have this option here that I like, automatically decline meetings. I would use this feature a lot last school year because I would be included in a lot of meetings revolving around 504s and IEPs. However, knock on wood, it'll never happen again, only had one of my students with a medical 504. So it wasn't really necessary for me to go to all of those meetings. And so I could just, they were reoccurring the same time every week, same day. I could just automatically decline those invitations and not have to go to that meeting. So like I said, I absolutely love using Google, all of Google tools and resources. It took me a little while to get used to Calendar just because I was so used to Microsoft, but now I'm never going back. I love Google Calendar. So that is my presentation for this assignment. Thank you.